September the 4th, 476 AD. Ravenna, the last capital of a dying empire. You wake before dawn, the way you always have. Not to a trumpet, not to a war cry, just to the cold. Your name is Marcus. You are 31 years old. You are a baker's son, and you make bread for men who no longer remember what Rome once was. The city around you is quiet, too quiet. For 400 years, this quiet would have meant peace. This morning, it means something else. It means everyone already knows. You step outside. The streets of Ravenna are narrow, damp, half swallowed by marsh mist. Once, this was the beating heart of the Western Empire. The emperors moved the capital here a lifetime ago because Rome itself could no longer be defended. Ravenna was safer. Ravenna had walls and swamps and ships. Ravenna could not save them either. You walk to the bakery because bread does not care who rules. The oven still needs lighting. The flour still needs kneading. Empires fall, but people still need to eat. That has always been the quiet, stubborn truth beneath every collapse in history. At the well, you hear the first whispers. A soldier, a real one of the last, tells you what happened in the night. Odoacer has taken the palace. You know the name. Everyone does now. A commander of the Foederati, barbarian mercenaries hired generations ago to defend Rome because Rome could no longer defend itself. That, more than any battle, is the story of this century. An empire so exhausted it paid outsiders to hold its own borders until one day the outsiders simply stopped asking permission. The emperor, if you can even call him that, is a boy, Romulus Augustulus, 16 years old. Augustulus, little Augustus, a mocking diminutive because even his own name is smaller than the ones before it. He was never meant to rule an empire. He was placed on the throne by his father, a general grasping at power in the empire's final gasping years, propped up like a puppet in a play that everyone already knew was ending. You think of the first Augustus. 500 years ago, he built an empire that stretched from the fog of Britain to the sands of Egypt. Rome ruled the known world. Roads connected it. Law bound it. Legions defended it. Aqueducts fed it. It was, for all its cruelty, the most powerful human creation the world had ever seen. And now, it ends here, in a boy's bedroom, in a palace by a swamp, without a battle, without even really a fight. You reach the bakery. Old Tullius is already there, arms dusted white with flour, eyes red from lack of sleep. He does not look up. "Did you hear?" he asks. "I heard. No armies," he says. "No siege, no fire, just a letter, they say. Odoacer sent the imperial regalia to Constantinople, told the Eastern Emperor he doesn't need it anymore, said one emperor is enough for the whole world." You almost laugh. Not from joy, from the strange, hollow absurdity of it. An empire that once required Caesar to burn Carthage to the ground, that crucified thousands along the Appian Way, that conquered Gaul and broke Carthage and humbled Egypt, extinguished not by fire, but by a diplomatic letter and an indifferent shrug. You think about your grandfather. He used to tell you stories of the legions, real legions, disciplined, terrifying, unstoppable. He fought as a young man, decades ago, in campaigns that already, even then, felt like the empire's last full breaths. He used to say Rome could never fall because Rome was not a place. Rome was an idea, and ideas do not die. You are beginning to understand that he was wrong, and also strangely right. The city this morning does not weep for empire. The city worries about grain prices, about whether the new ruler will raise taxes, lower them, protect the roads, protect the markets. The peasant farmer working the fields outside the city walls will till the same soil tomorrow, whether his ruler is Roman-born or Germanic-born. His harvest doesn't know the difference between an emperor and a king. That is the truth almost nobody says aloud today. Rome did not vanish in a single sunset. It had been dying for 100 years, bled by civil wars, gutted by economic collapse, drained by a currency debased so many times that coins have become almost worthless, weakened by a population that had stopped believing its own government could protect it. The sack of Rome itself, 66 years earlier, had already broken something that never fully healed. This morning in Ravenna is not the wound. It is only the moment the body finally, quietly, stops breathing. By midday, you hear that Odoacer has been generous in his way. Little Romulus Augustulus was not executed. He was pensioned
off, sent to a villa in Campania, near the bay, with enough gold to live comfortably and vanish from history, a strange mercy for the end of the world. The last Roman emperor in the West did not die a martyr or a tyrant. He simply retired, quietly, into obscurity, a teenager who never had the chance to be anything more than a symbol. You finish your bread before the sun is fully up. You always do. The people of Ravenna will still buy loaves this morning, this afternoon, tomorrow. They will still fall in love, bury their dead, argue over debts, gossip near the fountains. Life will not stop simply because history has quietly turned a page.
That, you realize, standing in the doorway with flour still on your hands, is the strangest truth of all. You are living through what future scholars will call one of the great turning points in human history, the end of the Western Roman Empire, the birth of what will one day be called the Middle Ages. And yet this morning feels almost unremarkable. No fire in the sky, no trumpets of doom, just cold air, tired soldiers, and a baker's son wondering if bread prices will rise. You will not know, standing here today, that Rome will not disappear so much as transform, that the Eastern Empire will endure for another 1,000 years from Constantinople, calling itself Roman until the very end. You will not know that the Latin you speak will splinter slowly into Italian, French, Spanish, the bones of Rome living on in the mouths of people not yet born. You will not know that the roads under your feet will still be walked on 1,000 years from now, that the laws written by dead senators will still shape courts on continents not yet discovered. Empires, you are learning, do not die like men. They do not have a single last breath. They fade the way morning mist fades over the marshes around this city, slowly, unevenly, until one day you look up and realize it was already gone, and you cannot quite remember the exact moment it disappeared. You close the bakery door behind you. Somewhere in the palace, a boy who was briefly the last emperor of Rome is being quietly escorted toward a ship, toward a villa, toward a life history will barely record. And somewhere far below the palace, in the ordinary streets of an ordinary city, bread is still rising in the ovens, exactly as it did yesterday, exactly as it will tomorrow, because that is what history rarely tells you. The world does not end when an empire falls. It just wakes up the next morning and keeps going.